Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I wanted to do a really fun video. So I'm actually going to be recreating the very first makeup look that I did on my channel, kind of doing a following along to it, so kind of doing exactly how I did it in that video. But I have got a slight modification, because if you kind of watch me near the beginning of when I started, I did use non-cruelty-free products like Rimmel, L'Oreal. Nowadays, everything I use is cruelty-free, and I use green beauty products as well. So I thought today's video, obviously I can't use the products I used in that video. There are a few that are already cruelty-free in there, but instead I'm going to switch them out and use all green beauty products for today's video. I just thought it would be really fun, but I'm going to do exactly the style I did it in that video, so not changing it how I would kind of do it now, because there probably are differences I do now back from kind of in comparison. And it'd be interesting to see kind of the differences from then to now in terms of my makeup skills, because obviously back then I didn't have any training. Not saying that makes me good now at what I do, but I definitely think there's slight improvements that I've done since the training, and there's always room to improve anyway. I'm still learning, but I just feel like it hopefully will be better then. The thing that you might recognise definitely will be the wallpaper, because obviously I had that beautiful wallpaper back at my old room, my parents' house, that everyone used to compliment, and it's still there at my parents' house. And every time I go home, if I've got the chance to film, I always try and film in front of the wallpaper, because it is a really beautiful wallpaper. So let's stop rambling, let's find the video that I'm going to recreate today. So this is my homepage. If we go into videos and sort by oldest. Now I know my first ever video was not a makeup tutorial, yeah, it was a January beauty favourites, but the first makeup look was a smoky eye look. Oh, it says pause it. So this was the 5th of February 2015, so over 3 years ago, which would be interesting. So let's make it bigger. Let's dive into this and see if I can try and recreate and follow along to this old makeup tutorial. Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a smoky eye look. This is perfect for evening wear. Trying to use in the daytime, I think, and it's just really pretty and stuff. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Thanks. First of all, I'm taking the Max Factor X Excess Shimmer in the shade Copper, and I'm just going to pop this all over the lid of my eye. It's a really nice creamy texture, and it's good for either putting as a base for the rest of your makeup, or you can have it on the lid by itself. Yeah, so as you can hear, I was very quiet, and like I said, the mic I used to try and do a voiceover was really bad as well, so you kind of have to turn it right up. And I'm very washed out as well in this video. Okay, so first of all, I'm using that Max Factor Excess Shimmer. The closest thing I have to it in green beauty wise, actually the RMS Contour Bronze. I've used this before as like a cream eyeshadow base, and it's really pretty, and it's a relatively similar colour as well. So I'm just using my finger, I believe. I'm just gonna pop this all over the lid like I did back then. So no primer or anything like that to begin with. Okay, so I think this is actually a little bit darker than the Max Factor one. I remember it being a much of a lighter colour. Still shimmer like this one, but a bit lighter, but it's the closest one I've got.
I'm going to take the Sleek Natural palette, and I'm going to take the shade Regal, pop that on the outer corner of my eyelid and bring it into the crease all the way.
Okay, so actually I still have that palette. That palette is cruelty free, but like I said, sticking with the green beauty theme. And the closest shade I've got for Regal is going to be kind of a mixture. So I'm going to take the Lily Low Smoke and Mirrors palette. I'm going to take a mixture of Silhouette and Intrigue here, because it's kind of like a dark matte grey from that Sleek palette that I've got. I seem to use it on a flat brush. I'm going to use this mask brush for this. So I'm packing it onto the outer portion of the lid and bring it through the crease with the same brush. So let's just pick up a mixture of both of those colours, and let's start working this, at least try and do what I do, onto the lid. So I seem to be using Just using sweeping motions and into the crease apparently. Wow, this is not a brush I would use now for this at all. It's not a very easy brush here to try and blend, especially when you go into the crease at all. Do you remember back then I bought a kind of one of those 50-piece brush sets you could find on Amazon, so the cheapest one, I think it was like £10. I thought, oh, that's incredible, I'll get that, but obviously price reflects the quality with that one, for sure. Still blending with the same brush.
And then you'll take the shades Vanilla Earth and Bar and just mix those two together and put just the outer corner of my eyelid just to intensify that.
Okay, so I'm using the same brush again, and I think the colour that I found that was similar to that colour is actually, like, it was a shimmer colour for that one. It's actually the Lily Lalo Loose Mineral in Chocolate Martini. It's like a shimmery brown colour, which is what I use. Same brush again. Take a little bit of this. And I seem to be packing this onto the outer portion of the lid just to deepen up that section. It is really not easy to blend with a brush like this. And actually looking at the video,
And then
it does.
Fresh brush, just blend everything out.
Oh, a clean fresh brush, okay. I was about to say it doesn't look particularly blended, but obviously I do go ahead and blend it in a second. So a clean fluffy brush, so I can go into one of my trusted brushes. Let's go in with the Luxie 231. I can go ahead and blend, which makes me very happy.
I forgot to add a little bit of but basically I go back to the same palette and I take the colour Taupe, which is a really pretty sandy glittering colour, and I just put that into the inner corner of my eyes just to really emphasise the difference between light and dark.
Okay, so for that bit, I'm actually going to take the illuminator from the Naked 2 palette from 100% Pure and pop this onto the inner portion like I've done in that one. That will help hopefully brighten up the eye look as well, because like I said, that base was a bit darker than the one I used in the video, but it was the closest one I had to it. So I'm going to pop this one on a flat brush, because I'm using a flat brush again, and pop this onto the inner portions of the lid.
For highlights, I'm just going to take the shade Nougat and just pop that just there.
Okay, so like I said, I'm taking the highlight shade, and from that palette it's just like a matte kind of white colour. So, ooh, I don't know if I've got one. I don't really have a matte white eyeshadow that's Green Beauty, so I'm going to go back with the Lily Lalo Smoke and Mirrors and use this kind of off-white highlight shade to highlight my brow bone. And in that video I'm using one of those sponge applicators you get in palettes sometimes, which I don't own any of those now because I like to use brushes like this. So I'm just going to go in with a brush and add the highlight to the brow bone.
Another clean brush to blend that all out.
Another clean brush and blend that one out. I'm going to use the same brush because it's just a matte white, and just make sure everything is blended out.
So I can go a cat's eye eyeliner and just do a very simple eyeliner on my eyes with a slight flick at the end.
Okay, okay. Now I don't have a pen eyeliner that's Green Beauty, but I do have a liquid liner, it's 100% Pure Black Tea liner. So that is what I'll use for today. Yeah, it's not a particularly big flick, so I'm just gonna, I start off with the outer corner first.
mascara, I'm using the Rimmel London Scandalise Retro Glam Mascara. I'm just going to give my lashes a couple of coats with that.
And for mascara, I'm going to use the Pacifica Stella Gaze to coat my upper lashes like I do in the video.
And then I'm going to use the Maybelline Brow Mascara in the shade Medium Brown just to fill in my eyebrows and just get that.
Now I know I never filled them in, I just used brow gel. Now the only brow gel I have Green Beauty is the Avada one, and it is a transparent one, so I don't have a coloured brow gel for this, but I'm just going to go in with this instead and just kind of go through my brows. Yeah, I never used to actually properly fill in my brows how I do now. I just kind of, yeah, put some brow gel through or left them sometimes, which, looking back, it does look weird. It's weird how much eyebrows can shape your face and kind of add something to the look. And I feel because even though I've got naturally quite dark hair, my eyebrows are quite light in comparison, so it looks a little odd. And actually I'm kind of similar anyway, like my arm hair, you can barely see my arm hair, so I'm quite lucky in regards to that. But yeah, I do just have naturally lighter eyebrows than I do my hair. So I do think sometimes it's actually nice to just add, not go overboard, but add something to the brows to kind of help shape and just kind of, it almost helps complete a look, I think, as well. But I didn't like doing brows back then.
And I'm going to prime my face, ready for foundation, and I'm using the L'Oreal Luminous Chic Primer.
I remember that primer, I used to love it. It looked really glowy on the skin and everything, but obviously I can't use that. 100% Pure Luminous Primer is obviously the best choice for this, for a luminous, glowy base.
And then I'm going to take the L'Oreal True Match Foundation in the shade Ivory. I'm going to take a Real Techniques stippling brush. First of all, I'm just going to press the foundation into my skin to make sure it sticks, and then I'll go ahead and blend it in.
Yeah, I feel like L'Oreal True Match was the classic foundation to go for. I think it was Nicole Guerrero that got me onto that. But obviously I'm not using that today. I'm going in with the PHB liquid foundation, because obviously I use a liquid foundation there, so I thought I'd better use a liquid foundation now. I'm not necessarily huge, I don't mind this foundation, but it's not my favourite, as you know. I'm still on a hunt for the best, no, the Inica one actually, the Inica loose powder is definitely a good foundation. Although I just kind of gone off, okay, no, I haven't gone off wearing foundation, you know I do wear it occasionally in videos and stuff. But I quite like not popping foundation on, and I just haven't found the perfect Green Beauty foundation yet. Inica one is definitely top, followed by the Lily Lolo mineral one, but yeah, I'm still very much on the hunt. So I say in this video to stipple it on first and then blend out in a second. So I'm just going to stipple this on the brush. And definitely by stippling it, it gives the most coverage to the skin. I think that's my foundation good and on now.
For concealer, I'm using the Slate palette, the corrector and concealer palette. And I'm going to take the corrector first and pop it under my eyes, followed by the concealer.
So I used to have that is cruelty free, but I don't have a corrector, so I'm just going to go with concealer straight away. I'm going to use the Hint Beauty Duet Concealer. I think this gives me enough coverage anyway, so I don't need to do that. I'm going to use my finger like I do in the video as well.
Concealer again, just concealing blemishes I have on my chin.
I always have blemishes on my chin.
I'm using the Virtual bronzing powder and highlighter duo, but I'm just going to use the bronzing powder for this.
Oh, I remember that bronzer. That was like a big cult bronzer.
Any big fluffy brush I have, just to apply that to my cheeks.
Although I have to say, the way I'm applying it in this video is more like contouring, which bronzers aren't for contouring. Especially for my skin tone, I think a cooler toned contour would look better. Okay, so for this I'm going to take the Lilo Miami bronzer and do on a fluffy brush, quite similar to the one I used there, and bronze up my skin, set to more contouring because I do put it right into the cheekbones, which is not, I mean the bronzer when I bronze does go slightly into cheekbones, but it's not focused quite how it is in this video. It's more kind of a bit more blended in, I guess. Now I do a bit of buffing just to blend it out slightly, that's good. I'm pleased.
I'm also going to take some of the head.
Cool.
I'm then going to use the Revlon blusher in the shade Morphless, just apply that to on my cheeks.
I remember I used to really love that blush. It was a very nice pink tone, but not too pink in your face. So the one I'm going to use instead is the 100% Pure Healthy Blusher. It's a really beautiful blusher as well. Kind of a similar tone, which is why I'm going to pick it. And then just a fluffy brush. And like I said, just pop it on the apples on my cheeks. And I do blend it up into the contour areas like I do nowadays as well. So this technique hasn't really changed for me either. Although it looks like I'm using a Real Techniques buffing brush, which I wouldn't necessarily use that now, but... Oh, I think I've got that brush. I should have used it. Oh well.
I noticed a little bit shiny, so I went ahead and powdered my T-zone powder, even the shade translucent. So I applied a little bit too much.
Okay, so I'm going with a pressed powder now. So the only pressed powder I have is from the PHB palette, so I'm just going to take that one on a fluffy brush. It looks like I'm using the Real Techniques contour brush, so I will see if I can find that quickly. No, I can't seem to find it, so I'm just going to go in with another Real Techniques brush. And like I said, set the T-zone because I'm looking a bit shiny apparently. Which actually, I'm not for once. It doesn't look like I really set under the eyes or anything like that, but I do go with the cheek area apparently.
Then for highlighter, I'm using Revlon Photoshop highlighter, shade Rose.
I don't actually have a liquid highlighter, it's Green Beauty. I've either got powders or I've got cream. So I think the closest consistency is cream, and this is a very similar shade to that Revlon highlighter. So this is the Vapor Organics Illuminator in Moonlight. It's very pretty. I'm going to pop this on the cheekbones like I do here. I'll blend it with my finger as well. I wonder if I put it in my other usual areas in this video, I can't remember.
Going back to the sleep palette, I'm going to take
No,
the shade
apparently not.
underneath my eye.
Okay, so for the lash line, I'm going to go with the Naked 2 palette, taking the shade Vivid for the lower lash line, because it was definitely a dark kind of purple shimmer I took down there. And again, it seems to I seem to take it on those little sponge applicators from palettes, but I don't have one of those either. So I'm going to take a brush that I would use, which is a flat brush, and I'm going to run this along the lower lash line.
Then I'm going to apply the same mascara to my lower eyelashes.
Same mascara.
For a little box for the lashes I use the Tanya lashes and the Bella lashes, which are really pretty.
So I actually use lashes in this video, which I don't often tend to do on my channel. I don't have those Tanya Burr lashes, and like I said, I didn't know what they were. I didn't have there's no like close up of kind of style. So I'm just going to add the Ardell Day Wispies. These are the like kind of lashes I tend to use if I'm going to use them now. I like these and just general wispies as well. But it has been a while since I applied false eyelashes, so this will be interesting. Now, the one product in this video that's possibly, or is definitely not going to be Green Beauty is the lash glue. obviously. So I do apologise for that, but I wanted to kind of, everything else is Green Beauty, so that's just my one non-Green Beauty, so I do apologise, but it is cruelty free. So I'm gonna, now with I think back then I didn't even measure them to see if they fit, I just shoved them on, which nowadays I would measure up. And actually I think these are pretty much going to fit my eye quite nicely. So it has actually been a while since I've applied false eyelashes, so let's see if I'm any good at doing it again. I'm sorry, it's not Green Beauty again, but I love this lash glue because it comes out white and it starts drying like this blue tint when it's kind of getting tacky, which I really like, so you can kind of see when it's kind of ready to apply. So I've just added some glue to the tray and I'm just going to coat the bands of the lashes. I also remember that video that it took me an extremely long time to apply these lashes, like a really long time, because I think it was one of the first times I tried to apply false eyelashes. I'd never really worn them before, but I wanted to kind of, I thought everyone I watched was applying them, so I was like, I've got to apply false eyelashes. Nowadays, you rarely see false eyelashes on me, A, because I think I've got relatively long eyelashes, and I don't think it's always necessary. Some looks I do think actually it complements really well, but most of the time I don't. So yeah, I remember it did take me a very long time to try and get those eyelashes on, and I'm trying to use my fingers in this video, which I would use tweezers now because I just think it's easier, well, for me personally anyway. So that's how I go. Let's see if I can at least pop one on quite easily. So far so good. Another reason I don't often wear false eyelashes is because I've got quite uneven eyes, and I just feel like it emphasises the unevenness because they don't sit necessarily the same on both eyes. But the Demi Wispies are a very beautiful lash, in all fairness.
For lips, I'm using the Bourjois Shine Edition lipstick, the number 26, which is a really pretty nude colour.
It's obviously a classic nude colour. This one's quite a sheer colour lipstick. So I'm going to go in with the Pacifica lipstick in XOX, which is, ooh, no, it's broken. Very similar tone-ish. It may not look like it on camera because, again, that's very washed out, but I'm only going to dab this on. To get the colour. Although, the one I use in the video is very glossy, which this isn't, so I might go and see if I can get another lipstick a bit more similar to that one. So I'm actually going to take the Lilo lipstick in Nude Allure, which is maybe slightly more nude than that one, but hopefully the combination with the glossiness of this and the colour of the other one hopefully will look relatively similar-ish. And that's it complete. So that is me recreating my first ever makeup look. Actually, I have to say, the kind of style, well, the colours and the style of the eyes is something I would do nowadays for sure. The kind of gradient smoky eye and nude lip, obviously. It's just the technique I would do differently. Obviously, I'd fill in the brows. I would add primer because this will not last on my lids at all. And like I said, I wouldn't contour with a bronzer either. But other things are very similar to how I do it now, more similar than I actually thought. It was just more the whole, I didn't use cruelty-free products back then. So I probably blended it a bit more than I did in that video, because in the video, if you looked closely, it wasn't that blended, but I couldn't help myself and I just blended it a bit, maybe too much. It's still not completely blended because I wanted to keep it as realistic to that as I could. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you find it interesting, me recreating my first ever makeup look but using Green Beauty products. I think the dupes I found were quite similar and stuff like that, hopefully. And yeah, I thought it'd be quite a bit of fun. So I really hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. Leave requested videos down below and I'll see you in my next video.